Their introduction is simple. We help brands transform their websites into trust building, client winning tools. Trust building and client winning. It's that simple. You guys have got it right here. And today they're gonna talk about small business websites that don't just underperform. They look unprofessional. And since your website is often the first impression or even the deal closer, you could be losing clients before conversations begins. But wow, that we need the visibility. So I want to bring you guys on, and if you need to use the presentation, you absolutely can.
Thank you so much, Nicole, and thank you so much, Colleen. It was a challenge, but you are one of our favorites. That's why we went, above and beyond for you, because we were in the middle of, moving to another house. We had a trip, like we're already in a new place. We traveled on Saturday, preparing all the information for the summit and, rebranding and creating your new website. It was a lot, but we did it. And, we don't do it for, in general, for everyone. There are people, as Ken mentioned, there are people you really appreciate and you have a good connection with, and you just want to keep on building on that relationship. And we're happy that we did it. It was some nights without any sleep, but we're happy of the results. And mostly when we hear the clients refer to the experience, post project, and how happy they feel, the confidence they have with their new branding, with their new website, how proud they are when they send their website to someone else, not like a bit ashamed, a bit, like, oh, maybe better if I send something else, my LinkedIn or something, and they are scared of sending a website because it might actually close a door. So we are very happy to hear all those words from you, Colleen. And yeah, we do have a presentation. We are gonna start sharing the screen right now. Help me, please.
Hi there.
And this is Kirill. We're gonna explain you a bit more of of both of us in a moment. But yeah, we're gonna share our screen. Let's see how that works here. Please let us know if you can see our presentation.
Yes,
I can see it.
All right. Let me see if we can just.
Two beautiful humans.
Yeah, thank you so much. As you can see, this is me, Ale.
That's me, Kirill.
Kirill. It's like cereal, but with a K, if you have questions. And we are the Brutko. We are a design and ops duo who focus on different areas of the visual side of businesses, including branding, including web design, including social media content and visuals. But as you can see, there are two sides on our business. There is the creative mind, the creative execution, the one who brings ideas to life visually. And then there is me, who is the operational side, the systems, the processes, bringing ideas to life, but through systems. And that is something very, very, very cool about us, because that's what we like to say to teams. We blend in great with teams. We work with entrepreneurs. We work with agencies. But what is amazing about us is that it's not like working with a graphic designer only. You are working with a graphic designer that has an embedded project manager. So we get the most out of creativity and ambition, as high as it can get because of Kirill. But we also stay grounded with goals and strategy. And that makes a huge difference. And also, we always say it, a creative person doesn't enjoy, Slack, dialogues, chats, setting meetings, these kind of tasks. They don't enjoy. They enjoy sitting in front of their computer or in front of their canvas or whatever they are using and creating. And as much as I would love to be able to create what Kirill creates, maybe I could do it in 10 years of practice and, dedication. But there are people who really perform great in that. And I perform great in management. So as Colleen said, we all should wear the hat we love. And that's what we've been doing for over 11 years. Yes, we are a couple. We work together. We've been together for more than 13 years. And yeah, we still love each other and we still love what we do. So And we've been doing it for over 11 years and enjoying every second of it because each is focusing in what they really love. So,
No, wait.
1 second, please.
Just click on it. Oh.
A bit about our presentation today. We're going to be talking about why your competitor gets more clients, although sometimes, they are not doing a better job or they are doing a much worse job. And that is the truth about websites that actually work. We are Ale Santoliva and Kirill Brutko, and let's start.
So let's run a quick exercise first. First of all, I wanted to say hi guys. Yeah, I'm Kirill, and I'm as Ali said before, I'm executing projects. I'm designing it, so I'm not great at talking and this kind of stuff, but I will do my best. So yeah, so let's begin. So a quick exercise. Imagine there are companies and they have same service, same price, same quality. The only difference of those companies are just the design. One looks professional, clear, the other one looks cluttered and outdated. So which one would you trust and which one would you choose? For example, here we can see like the company which does a cleaning service. This one is a bit outdated. This one is a new version. In my opinion, the answer is obvious here. So
you can also leave in the comments which one would you choose.
Yeah.
Imagine, of course, these are the same services, the same price,
prices, everything is
the same quality. So which one would you choose in this case?
So actually, it works everywhere in such sphere. For example, like restaurants. Imagine the same thing, like the same service. They're located at the same street, same prices, quality, but the only difference is the design. One has a really clean, nice design, great style. Another one just faded signs, poor lighting, cluttered. So which one would you choose? Again, I mean, you can leave a answer in the comments if you want, of course, yes. But I think the answer is obvious. It would be the left one, because imagine if you're going for a date and you would definitely would like to take pictures, or you want to impress a person, or even if you're going with your family, you would definitely choose that restaurant, because it's also experience, not only the price and service and this kind of stuff.
And why would we choose one over the other one? Yeah, it's design. Some people would call it just decoration, but actually vision is our strongest sense. Our strongest sense, there's no competition there. And why? Images are processed 60,000 times faster than text. And people get to judge, credibility and if you're worth it talking to or like working with in just 50 milliseconds. It's shorter than a blink. And colors and layout have a huge impact in changing how we feel about quality. In just this time, our mind already decides if something feels trustworthy, if they are professional, if we want to talk with them based on colors, layout, and different design elements. And good design, of course, builds trust. You see the restaurant on the left. We use this example because it's a more approachable type of example. We all go to restaurants, we all know very well this. And you see one that looks clean, that looks organized, that looks like they made an effort to make you feel comfortable there and enjoy the experience. And you see the other one with no experience at all, or actually a bad experience. So which one do you trust? Which one is clean? Which one, has the standards? And that creates a first impression. And the first impression lasts. It's a very important thing.
So yeah, now let's be honest. Most businesses' websites don't just fail to convert. They actually look unprofessional. For example, on this image, you can see sometimes some websites use like stretch images. And for example, this guy on these images, that you probably would be happy about the stretch images, but your client would look like this, like the scream on the moon. And when you do it all, like if everything is not aligned, stretch, your whole design can look like this. I hope I think everyone knows this guy that is Cristiano Ronaldo, and he is not that happy about the design. He actually looks like this, yeah, but the monument which was created in his hometown, I think it was in the airport in Madeira, looks like this. So he definitely is not happy, and this sculpture doesn't represent the look of this guy.
Yeah, the look of one of the men who are the most handsome men in the planet, according to many people,
Yeah,
doesn't really look like that one there, you know.
yeah, like this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so what happens when design is poor? If people feel confused, you know, instead of clear, instead of really understanding what's going on, they don't see the value of your service, of your product, of your business, of working with you. And when they are like, let's say, sharing your website with someone else, they will be, again, as I said, like kind of ashamed and kind of hesitant to just share that with someone else, because if the experience feels cheap, they assume that your service is cheap as well. You know, you didn't put the effort there, or you didn't just, it doesn't project the value behind it. But when design is good, people feel confident, you know, they see, oh, the service, and sometimes even if the service is not professional and the company is not professional, but the website is professional, they get that feeling. People feel confident, they feel they can trust you faster, they are much more likely to take action and to, if it's not to hire, at least to talk with you and to continue the conversation. So show quality on the outside so people believe in the quality inside. Okay, and about the real problem, because there is a lot of, you know, conversation on why does this happen, and some people are blaming AI, some people blame templates, but let's face it, bad websites have been around for a very long time. This is nothing new. This is not about AI. This is not about Canva or Wix or any of this. These are tools, and this can be very helpful. But the problem here is that most websites are built with zero design strategy. You know, there is no consistency in terms of colors, in terms of fonts, in terms of other elements we will discuss a bit later. And there is no clarity in the communication. Many times, and you like try to get honest with yourself. I'm not asking you to share, but get honest with yourself. When you were creating your website, did you think, okay, who's my audience? Who's going to be visiting my website? What is the message I want to send? And what is the specific goal of this website? Because sometimes there are so many ideas out there and people just don't know where to go. They're like a chicken without a head, and they like, okay, I'm just going to close this. And this quietly burns your money. Let me explain a bit more why. So when your website lacks strategic design, every other investment loses power. But why is this? Because it burns your marketing budget, it wastes your development investment, and it undermines your SEO efforts. Let's say you are hiring an SEO expert, they are doing a great job, you have great traffic to your website, they land on your website. They feel, first of all, no connection. Maybe it looks really like poorly designed, and they just feel there is no quality at all there. They close it. So you paid for an SEO expert, you took the time and everything, but you ended up burning that money. What else happens? Your clients start questioning your quality, and that destroys trust before you can even have a call with them. And why is this important? Well, these numbers are important. 81% of people won't buy without trust. They need to trust you before they buy. I mean, unless you're going to buy a chewing gum, you really want to know, and even for a chewing gum, because you want to know you're not going to end up in the hospital. But you need to trust the business before you commit to it. And your website is where that trust either begins or dies.
So yeah, good design does more than actually it look than just looks nice. So strategic design is not optional, is actually essential. So there's supposed to be like clarity, so people understand you faster, consistency. Every touch point tells the same story, emotion. Good design triggers the right emotional response. And of course, trust. Visual credibility leads to action. You know, and nowadays people use a lot of devices, people use a lot of technology, so they need a lot of things, and it really needs to be clear, and people need to spend just the least amount of time on your website or on your design
To understand
to
what you
understand. What most websites gets wrong. So they try to say everything at once. Yeah, it might look like a newspaper. As I said before, people don't have the time to read a newspaper. They need just the most important information. So it actually might look disconnected from the brand, colors, identity, everything can look like what we like to say sometimes visually, like a Frankenstein. So it doesn't fit. There is no visual hierarchy, so it's like you don't. It's difficult to understand where is header, where is paragraphs, where is the images, or yeah, they use outdated style. We're going to talk about this a bit later, and it actually might feel cluttered and overwhelming. So those are like examples which not you're not how supposed to design it. So it's difficult to understand information, difficult to read. It gives me it gives me feeling like I want to just move to another website. Yeah, so throughout the age, styles change, and actually your web design is supposed to change, trends evolve. It can be minimalistic, it can be somehow different, like less minimalistic. So yeah, styles actually change. Like what, let's say, work in 90s doesn't work now. Too much detail can now feel like clutter. More platforms mean less time to catch attention.
Yeah, we have different platforms. We have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, we have everything. So we cannot really spend that much time into a website with all that information because people just are, it's a fast type of life, the one we have nowadays. So yeah, that's important. Attention spans are much smaller, much shorter right nowadays.
So that is an example of shell branding, how they changed throughout the ages. And yeah, our advice would be to refresh your look every few years to stay current, not completely refresh, not completely change. As you can see, there are some minor changes. Right now, this more minimalistic because yeah, it's kind of trend. But actually, you know, sometimes trends come and go and come. So what could be trending, let's say 20 years, can be trending like in 30 years. So that's why you also should keep your websites fresh.
Something that is also interesting and important to take into account is culture when you're designing your website, and it is very subjective. It depends on the type of audience you have. So if you have an audience that is international, please keep that into account because something that means something positive in one culture might mean something negative in another one. Sorry for that. So just wanted to participate.
Yeah, so
So, but if you are working, for example, with a local audience, and let's say you have a bakery or you have something that operates mostly locally, pay attention to what is important in that area or what people in that area can relate to. Or if it's actually something that is not really locally focused, think about your niche. What appeals to your niche? What is important for them? What are their pain points? What are their quick wins? And you know, colors, symbols, and style can bring all that to life.
So yeah, but there are still amazing news. Strategically designed website builds trust instantly, so you trust it more. Positions you as a professional, converts visitors into clients, multiplies every marketing dollar.
Exactly. Every marketing dollar you are using will be amplified if you have the right design, or it will be burned if you have the wrong one. So make sure this is an investment that is very important because it really boosts results of ads, of SEO, of different marketing efforts. Okay, but okay, now we know that we need a good design, something that is aligned, but how to start? It all starts with strategy that converts. What we need to think about first, we need to define our audiences to understand very well, what they are after, how are we special in solving the problem they have, their pain points, how do they get a quick win when working with us. And a website should reflect that, and it should be aligned with that goal of showing that, and the CTAs in our websites should also reflect that. So we're going to be talking a bit more about CTAs in a moment, but it all should be aligned. Stay consistent, stay short, stay clear, and stay purposeful, intentional. And what to avoid. So there are some common traps that we really need to avoid. Don't be vague. Clarity beats cleverness. What is this, and why is this so important? Sometimes we feel tempted of using fancy words or complex words, and depending on the industry, we sometimes want to use those words. But the problem is that maybe our audience is not understanding that. And if they are not understanding that and they are not getting value out of those words, what's the point at all to look smart but not understood? That's not the point at all. So when it comes to that, also keep into account not to overload, not to design for your ideal client. Focus on your ideal client, design for them. We cannot please everyone, and just focus on your ideal client and what they want to hear and give them that. Don't break consistency. Everything has to be connected, pages, styles, everything. So how does that, it starts with a strategy, but we are starting going into how that looks like. And here are the basic design principles. There are more. They can be broken by experts, but if we are not experts, these are very important principles that we can just keep into account, and we can still get the most out of it. So keep into account visual hierarchy. This means guiding the user's eye to what actually matters the most. What matters the most? Your USP. What matters the most? Your CTA. What matters the most? Social proof. They need to see that before they take action. And they can do that through bold, we're going to see that a bit later, but bold headers. They need to see what is the most important thing, bigger sizes, bolder thickness, colors, images. Okay, alignment. We will see a bit more in a moment, but this means that if we have everything, let's say, left aligned, let's keep that alignment. Don't place something here, something there, something everywhere, and then our eyes are here and everywhere, and we don't even know as a user where we should look at. We're confused, and we just don't have the time or the desire nowadays to spend one more second into stress. Color and contrast. This doesn't mean using flashing colors and something that just brings our alert mode on. This means ensuring readability and trust. If we're using white on yellow and it's not working, there might be a reason. There is much more contrast with yellow and black, but it has to be I always think as a user, when I'm reading this, when I'm seeing this, is it clear? Can I read this? White space. Many people would think, oh, white space, what a waste of space. I can add information there, I can add an image there. And we've heard this. But white space is super important because it lets your design breathe and it lets the user's eyes take a quick rest and, be able to focus in what matters. Okay, inconsistency, we said it.
So how the principles come to life? We can see there like poorly designed website. So it is clutter, messy layout, misaligned sections, too many fonts, off-brand random colors, wall of text. As I said before, it's not a newspaper. Low quality stretched images. No white space, confusing flow, no clear CTAs, and hard to read.
And from this example here, which you see the stretched image is distorted. Please, now that you know this information, please don't do that. Yeah. It really impacts hugely in the quality perception of any visual. But based on this, okay, we get that this business is about construction, but just because of the image, some websites don't even use an image that tells anything about the business. But okay, let's see an example of something that actually is improved.
Yeah, like already improved version. First of all, it fits to nowadays trends. It is clean, consistent, elements alignment, clear hierarchy, one font family, consistent styles. It doesn't mean you should use one font family, but for example, if you experience a web designer, you can use different fonts, of course. But if you are not experienced in this, I would suggest you just use one font family and nothing more. So cohesive brand colors, yeah, don't forget your brand colors. Balanced, it's supposed to be balanced. High quality, properly sized images. Images are not distorted. Smart white space. Logical flow, 2-3 clear consistent CTAs, easy readability, and emotional connection.
Yeah, from this website right here, just a quick example, but we already see what they do through several things. So first of all, we see the quality of what they do is not just construction, which can be about whatever. This is this specific type of architecture. We see numbers that give us an idea of why we should trust this company or why we can trust, We see icons that also say what this is about. And it's organized, it's clean. We see the CTA right there. It's clear, the user shouldn't be second guessing, like, oh, what should I do? What buy, contact them, book a call. It should be clear. There's one action that I have to take when being in this website.
So there are a few examples, like a very basic examples, how I would suggest you to use like headers or paragraph text and images. You can see here there are a lot of different filters that headers are not that aligned. It looks a bit messy. So we would suggest you to keep same filter, same alignment. Of course, for example, as you can see, colors, it can still fit to your brand, but if you have it in a brand, and if you already know how to use the brand, you created the brand, yeah, there can be a different for colors, different filters or something, but but for the beginners, that we would suggest to use just one filter. And you can also do like a very simple improvement to, like, let's say, bullet points. You can see here it is everything aligned. You can also add some extra paragraphs here, so it will be much easier for people to read it.
Exactly. Not even to read it, but to scan it and to skim it. People don't read websites anymore. People skim and scan. Our eyes going to, like this, searching for the keywords and the important information, and make that process easier for the users. This looks already better than if it was just a big paragraph, because it has bullet points. But this one here with subheaders and information distributed looks much easier to understand. When you are creating your copy and when your copywriter is doing that, look at this. We're having here a one-line header, but then this one here decided it wanted to have use three different lines. But that really unbalances the layout. So try to keep it balanced. Yeah, and if it's not possible, ask a professional designer. So just as a quick reminder, probably you are already using many of these elements in the structure of your landing page or website, but I think we can really focus on a landing page because it's one of the simplest tools that we use and that shows the value of our offering easier. So what they should have, it should have a clear headline that speaks to value. In the headline, you should already understand what the business is about and what the value of that business is. Then you should have concise supporting text. As I said, people scan, they don't read, they scan and skim. Visuals that reinforce your message. If your company is about selling watches, add those watches there, add people who are happy with those watches, reinforce that message. Don't use just a random picture of people enjoying by a pool. Like, it has nothing to do. You might like the image, but stay focused. And 3 to 4 CTAs that have the same goal. At the very beginning of the website, throughout the website, in the middle, then again, and at the end. People should see it, should just be able to click right there, because they might not be convinced when they read the headline, but they might be convinced after seeing an image, or they might be convinced after seeing the social proof, which is the next point. So keep that handy in the specific areas and strategic areas for them to click and already be in touch with you. And also very important, the footer, it should be consistent and it should have trust signals as well as your contact information. Make sure that your socials are correctly connected. Make sure to add your email, your phone number in any way you want to be contacted. And if you have any certification, add it there as well. It builds trust. So we really love to live by this belief. It's only beautiful if it works. And what does that mean? Yes, aesthetics matter. Absolutely. No one's going to argue to that. Something that looks nice, looks nice. But design without strategy, you cannot call that design. That is just mere decoration and, just might help something look a bit better. But the goal of a website isn't to impress people with complexity or with nice colors. The goal of the website is to connect, to build trust, to convert. It should all be aligned. And, if it's not doing that, it's just not working, no matter how pretty it looks. And we have all seen examples of bad design, not only of web design or, graphic design. We've seen examples of bad design. Let's say a door in a house. It looks beautiful. It looks so cute. It has flowers, whatever. Then you try to open it, it gets stuck, it doesn't close well. I mean, bad design, poor design. And why do you need a door in your house that doesn't work well? There are thousands of examples like this. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I prefer to have a door that looks, like regular, but it works. So always prioritize functionality, not aesthetics. And although they are important, but always prioritize functionality.
So yeah, if it doesn't look good, you don't get a second chance at the first impression. Your website is your first impression, and right now it might be costing you clients. As Vincent van Gogh used to say, people never find out it's good if your website sucks.
Yeah, people may never find out you are good if your website sucks. Okay, he didn't say that, but if he was here, he would agree. He would agree because you probably know his story as well. There is so much talent and so much beauty that is never found just because people didn't find it, didn't see the value there. And if it didn't look good, it didn't work well. And that's what happened to him. He was discovered as the amazing artist he was after his death. So yeah, he didn't say that people may never find out about how good you are if your website sucks, but he would agree. We are very sure he would agree.
Yeah.
And we want to share a bit about why this matters to us. And as I said, we've been in the creative field for 11 years. We've worked in different formats. We've worked in freelancing, we've worked with big companies, we've worked with agencies. But the thing is that, we've seen something that has broken our hearts over and over. We've seen amazing ideas to solve real problems. We've seen very powerful teams and, so much potential that died. They just died because we've worked with some of these companies. We've seen them from the outside as well. We've worked a lot with startups, and you know how that is also pretty rough. But entrepreneurs who really have something amazing to bring into this world, and they do it with their heart, but maybe they were not discovered. No one could see their value, or they stayed, very, very like in the shadow of what they could have been. And it's because no one could see their value, and we don't, like why we do this is out of passion and also out of frustration, because we just don't want that to happen to anyone in this room and anyone who has an amazing business idea. What you do is valuable. You deserve to be seen. But if your website doesn't show that, the right people, the people you really want to connect with, the people who will help you bring that to life, might never know. And if you believe in your potential, let them see it too. Your expertise is real. Your service is valuable. Don't let bad alignment or not using a bold header get on the way. You can do it. You can do it better. And we have a free gift for all of you. We have a visual. So first of all, we have a freebie on Is Your Website Costing You Clients? This is a website design checklist. You can, tick what you are doing well, what you are not doing well, what is still pending for you. And we also provide a visual audit checklist. We also provide an audit that, we can go through your website, we check it, discuss with you, help you see what is not working that well, what is working well, and what to do more of, what to do less of. And yeah, let's talk about your website. Do you have any questions, any concerns? Do you want feedback? Okay, that's going to be for another time, the feedback on your website. But that is, we have the door open for all these kind of conversations. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope you really enjoyed. We hope you really enjoyed.
Yeah, does anybody have questions? Colleen.
I don't have any questions. I just think that was amazing. Very thorough. And I think there were a lot of takeaways. Like I may be the only one, but I feel like I learned a lot about all of that. But I've learned a lot working with you in the last week too. And it really changed my vision from trying to be aesthetically pleasing to working, right? It's only beautiful if it works.
Thank you so much, Colleen. And I think, what you referred to when you said we were honest, and, it's like, it is true. We are so passionate, and when we're so close to our business, we want to say it all. It's so good. It's so amazing. Come try. We do this, I do that. And sometimes it overwhelms. And one of the pieces of advice we give to some of our clients, depending, of course, on the case, on the content type, if there is so much to tell sometimes, and if you really want to add that personal touch, for example, adding a video to your website that really, people can can read words, but when they see you, it's another story. And there you can talk a bit more, and they decide if they put, they press pause or they play you until the end. But visually, don't overwhelm them. There are people who are really straight to the point, and that is more and more every day. So yeah, that should be the focus nowadays. Who knows what's going to happen in 10 years? But at least nowadays, we need to do what's working nowadays.
Ken has her hand up, so I'll bring her up.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation, Ali. And so as a website designer that I used to be, I'm still am, but that's not my main thing right now. So how does your design process do? For example, when you have like clients that are like because like based on experience too that I had before, like you had like clients that they have this branding ready, right? But then the colors, like, and you know it yourself as a designer, because like how do you balance like being as a designer yourself and then the client wants, like because they have this branding and then the colors like that doesn't look like good, like green and brown and like all these kind of things, like how am I going to put this up, but they're so like hard on it that they want that. How do you balance that when you deal with clients like that?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. And we've had many of those, like, when they give you apples, but they want you to prepare orange juice or something like this. It happens. It happens because you have maybe a branding that they actually feel even connected to. We had a client that had a daughter who started art school, and she was in like the first semester of art school, and she created their logo. And I don't mind at all. We don't mind at all, because what you study or what you are good for can be completely different. But this was a person who really lacked the expertise and lacked the whole context. And this person created a logo that went against all types of design principles.
Yeah.
But they were not letting it go. It was impossible. It was just, there's no chance to change that, because they are emotionally attached as well. So what we did was creating a website that still, of course, followed all the principles. We kept from the branding some of the colors, like the colors that, and brought them into harmony, and but still created balance from that. Our recommendation is always, maybe you wanna revisit this, maybe let's do this, or like let's do a revamped version of that logo you currently have, because okay, they like the concept, but that concept can be improved. They don't need to like completely let go what the design and the business idea, but it can be visually pleasing to the eye. In this case, it was not possible, but we stick to their colors, which actually could create some harmony there. And the design, it didn't really match the logo and the, how to say, like you could see someone different created the website. But
yeah, and Alice, right, we had to finish this project because we already agreed about that. But we learn based on our experience usually. Yeah, and it was one of those clients, if one of those like red flag clients, and I think right now we wouldn't work with this type of client because like as Alice said, there was a girl who was just a student. She was drawing. There was no way to explain that some things are not good. Some basic things, logo has to work in a black and white. There was no way to explain. So, and if nowadays, if it doesn't work, we cannot, like, let's say, educate or something like this, and we see those kind of complications. There are like family members that are involved like a lot, so, and we don't know about that since the very beginning, because usually we ask if there are people, so we usually don't continue working with this type of client.
Yeah, we would refer them to someone else who might be more aligned with that type of approach. But something that has been also very positive with this kind of clients, we had a client that they had a logo. At the beginning they were hesitant to to work on a new logo, and we were supposed to create a pitch deck for them. And the pitch deck was top notch, honestly. And you could see the difference between the logo and the pitch deck. And it was so obvious that they also saw it and they were like, okay, guys, I don't want my ugly logo to appear in that amazing pitch deck. And let's do it. Like sometimes it takes a bit more time. We really like to keep flexibility at the beginning. There is a huge educational element to this, as I think Nicole was mentioning too, and you can. A lot of people think, oh, let's just put this together in Canva and let's do that and that's it. Um, there is a lot more than that in design. The psychological and emotional, background behind decisions and everything it's huge. And people think we all see, so it's very easy for us to perceive things through our eyes, but there we don't understand the strategy. And a lot of people would say, for example, developers, you will not say, oh, that code doesn't look right,
Yeah,
because we don't know about development, but we all believe that design is something that everyone gets, but there's a lot of strategy behind it. And yeah, like we are very patient in that sense and flexible into educating this and showing people why are we making this decision. It's not about we work like this and that's it. It's about we do this, we're making this decision for this reason, what do you think? And then we align on that and go further from there.
And can I add something at the very end? Sorry for taking that long. As Ali mentioned, everyone knows about football or soccer, and everyone knows about politics, and everyone knows about design, which is kind of not like this. It's like Ali said, coding. People don't criticize coders or programmers because they actually understand since the very beginning they don't know how it works.
Yes, thank you so much, Ali and Brutko, for answering my question. I just want to add that, yeah, I had clients like that too, and those are the clients that will never be shown in my portfolio.
Never.
That's true.
Never.
Pauline's got something here for you guys. That's funny.
I do, actually. I think that it's great that you're only choosing to work with people that you feel comfortable with and confident with. And I think that that's a huge benefit of building your own business. You need to simplify your business, but part of showing up as your best self is choosing who you work with. And how blessed are we to be entrepreneurs when we can choose that? My secondary question is this: what's a pitch deck? I don't know what that is.
It's a presentation that is widely used by startups, and when they are pitching, it's a deck. It's a presentation for pitching new investors. So it's a very important tool because they are trying to raise funds with it. And yeah, like if it looks great and professional, but then the logo doesn't, and there is not this consistency we were mentioning like 10,000 times in our presentation, it breaks it all. So we will always advocate for that. And eventually, yes, if the client is not aligned with us, the best idea is to refer it to someone who is. There are different approaches. We are not going to say we are the ones who know the truth.
Yeah.
We really love what we do and we like to do it with excellence, but it's not the only way. So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I loved about working with you too is that I did get all my files from you, so I can use those across multiple channels and in different platforms and ways that I need to. But also, what happens if I need it in a different format than I have? Am I able to come back to you later down the road? Do you save that somewhere in a file and I can say, hey, I need this or that? Is that a discussion, that we can have down the road, maybe in 2 years when I decide that I need a pitch deck or something like that?
Definitely. Thanks for the question, Colleen. Yes, that's something we always do. It's super important for us that our clients are not like slaves of of the work we did together. Like they need to change a comma or something and they need to come to us and they need to pay fees for that and all that.
Right.
We always make sure to deliver the final files, but also the source files. Source files are usually Adobe, InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, and other Adobe Creative Suite platforms. But also nowadays, Canva is widely used. And I'm not going to say we create in Canva, but we do use it for delivering because most of our clients feel very confident and happy using Canva, and it can help them immensely. So we deliver all that. And if our clients have questions, usually within the next 2 weeks, questions on how to apply something, we are there to give this free advice. And once, depending on how complex it is, but if it's more complex, of course, let's revisit the conversation, let's guide you through this. And yeah, you're never going to be like, oh, my designer didn't send me the files. It's never going to happen, because we don't like that. We created it for you to be able to use and to be able to scale with that material.
Yeah,
I love that. I have worked with people designing their websites inside my CRM, and all they had was like, they're like, just go grab the picture. And I'm like, that, then I'm stretching, and Allie says I can't stretch it. So I can't do that. I can't stretch anything. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I just want, can I add something?
Sure.
Of course, yeah, we usually provide files, but there is responsibility of the client to save those files on their computer or to save anywhere. Because yeah, we might keep those files on our computer, but anything can happen. For example, our computer can get destroyed or anything can happen. Yeah. So in 2 years, we might not just have those kind of files. So that is client's responsibility to have this types of clients on their computer.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to mention something, Colleen, that you said at the very beginning that you were kind of complicated. Actually, no, you were. It was very easy to work with you. To be honest,
it was a pleasure, really.
It was a pleasure. Yeah.
It was a big
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Because
I didn't know you were moving in the middle of all that.
Yeah, that was the only. But no.
But something that is really highly appreciable, I don't know, of a client, is when they really trust they're hiring a professional. And discussion and communication, always in for that. But you let us guide you, when you took advice from us and you were like, yeah, okay, you are right, I understand this and I like this idea, I agree, these kind of things. There are people who really hire people just to kind of show resistance, like, no, I'm better at this, like I get it better than, and that's of course not aligned with what we do.
Right. And that's the entire reason that I'm building out the power partnerships, is because I want people to come in and hire you for what you're talented at and not micromanage. I want them to not worry about it. I want them to know that they can trust you to just take the task and run with it and do your very best. Same as working with Ken, same as working with Lachelle or Lynn or any of my power partners. I want them to know that that's a huge part of simplification, is actually delegating it, hiring somebody to do it and walking away and letting them do their best job.
Totally. And it gives you peace of mind. I mean, why would you hire someone to do it yourself? Or I don't know, like,
Right.
hire someone you trust. If not, don't hire them yet and stay there.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, like as Sally said, we're not just a tool. Like we're a tool, but not this type of tool. Like we know Figma, we know Illustrator, Photoshop, these things. If you want someone, if you want to do everything by yourself and you believe that you know design better than us, you can just take a course and learn how Figma, Illustrator, all of those applications.
Or hire a person that will charge you not for the creativity behind that and the strategy, but for the use of the tools. And you might be even saving money.
There you go. Not making as much, but saving some.
Exactly.
Thank
Another
you.
approach. Colleen, real quick, I just wanted to say, for anyone who's been here, I think I mentioned it quickly, but I don't know if it's clear. Well, you can grab our meeting link and we are more than happy to get on a conversation and see your website and recommend, what can be improved. And yeah, just do a quick audit of it for free.
I love that. Thank you.
And thanks for the